So, I was doing some reading about what the Build Back Better infrastructure bill does. And the biggest way that it's going to be improving America's infrastructure is by selling infrastructure off to private companies who will be rebuilding it theoretically. They'll pay us money up front for it. Then they can rebuild it, but they will then get money back for their original purchase from the government by charging user fees. And so this is called a public-private partnership. That's what it actually works like. So go to Wikipedia. A public-private partnership is an arrangement between two or more public and private sectors of a long-term nature. Typically involves private capital financing government projects and services up front, and then drawing profits from taxpayers and or users over the course of the PPP contract. So when we're looking at this, we can say, all right, what is this actually doing? And how is this actually going to work out? If you look at partnerships by country, United Kingdom, one of the main ways they do this is by making rails private. Is traditionally one of the classic examples. So if we look at privatized railroad, we should be able to get a good idea of what this actually looks like. So if you go here and you search rail, I believe that would be a railroads in the United Kingdom. It's going to be similar to what that one, the obvious one. King Doom is nothing. And generally, they tried that in the beginning. But what I'm thinking is that we could use rail tickets to be an example of what this actually does to the average person. How does privatizing natural monopolies... most people don't know what that means. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So if we go to Wikipedia again, we can look up natural monopoly. A natural monopoly is a monopoly in an industry in which high infrastructural costs and other barriers to entry relative to the size of the market give the largest supplier in an industry, often the first supplier in the market, an overwhelming advantage over potential competitors. Famous capitalist liberal John Stuart Mill advocated government regulation to make them serve the public good, which continues to be the dominant idea in capitalist economics to this very day, and something that most economists today advocate for. I know this because I'm an economist. This is still something that most people agree on. And so what we can do, Amtrak is an example. We can compare similar length routes between similar large cities to figure out the actual impact of privatized transportation. So let's do London to Manchester, one of the most important routes in the United Kingdom. So the way you take that is the Avanti West Coast, which is going to be buy tickets. Let's see how expensive that is today. And that is going to take you... Let's get an approximate miles. No, not miles, kilometers. We want to keep this metric. 320 kilometers, essentially, to go from London to Manchester. And that's going to cost you about 66 euros at the cheapest. Which is, let's bring that into GBP. Let's bring it into euros because we're going to compare Germany. 77 euros to go from London to Manchester. So let's now try to find a similar route in Germany where the rails are... Yeah, I live in the Silicon Valley right now. It's where I am. Google automatically zooms into my location. So thanks, Google, I guess. How far is it from Munich to Frankfurt? This is going to be 400 kilometers, which is a little further. So we're going to go instead from Frankfurt to... Let's go from Dortmund. That might be closer. That's a little too close. Hanover. That should be a relatively 350. It's close, but Hanover to Berlin might be a better. I'm trying to do big city to big city in 2 countries. It's a little too far. So let's go Hamburg to Berlin. I'm just searching around. I didn't do this beforehand. I just want to do it live. 9. Bielefeld, I guess. Berlin's a bad example though because of the whole communist thing back in the day, the bad old days. We're looking for 320 kilometers. That's our goal. We're gonna add another 50. So Bremen. I want to get as close as possible. Too far. Bremen to Köln. Perfect. So Bremen to Köln is about the same distance as London to Manchester. So we can then say Bahnpunkt DE. I speak German, so we can do this pretty easily. Ja, ich verstehe. So we want Köln to Bremen. Von Köln nach Bremen. If you don't understand German, it's fine. This is from, this is to. We're gonna do it, I don't know, let's do tomorrow morning. Let's get the times about right. We're gonna do the evening. To get approximately the same everything as possible. They all use 24-hour time. Still can search. So remember that from refresh, London to Manchester is at cheapest 66 euros, which is actually 66 pounds, which is 77 euros right now. To do the same thing in Europe would cost you 30, up to 64, maybe as much as 76, which is still cheaper than the cheapest fare from London to Manchester. Welcome to public-private partnerships in reality. They don't serve you. They don't improve infrastructure. They don't make your life easier. They mean you get slower train. Oh, let's also look at the time. 2 hours. The train. This is one case where the train in Britain is actually faster, which is unusual. But anyways, this is one of those rare times where it's 3 hours versus 2 hours. It's a little. Germany's a little slower. Actually, it's the same for most of them. And it's cheaper to take ICE. It's not that much slower, though it is a little slower. Germany needs to improve. Well, let's compare France. An example in France, because France has done for another comparison, because that's another publicly owned program. Yeah, good luck figuring out where I live from that map. It's good luck. Let's go Paris to Nantes. But so far what we can say is that public-private partnerships provide much more expensive service. 384, but we're aiming for 320. So we want this to be a little shorter. Dijon? Dijon. France. 320. Close enough. TGV. Details. It's going to take you an hour 30. So you're going to think, it's an hour 30. It's even faster than Britain. It's going to be more expensive? We shall see. So, de départ, Paris. And we're going to Mustard. Dijon. Recherche. Recherche. Resultate. I don't speak French. I shouldn't even try. Resultate. Okay, hour 30 is going to cost you. Retour. Oh, this is going to be round trip. This is the round trip cost. Life easy. Let's do it, but we don't do it immediately. We want to do it. They use banking calendars in France. It's gonna be cheaper than Britain. I'm certain of that. Royal detail. I just want to find the price. I'm not very used to Oh, and then you click on that. And this is going to give us our price, I think. No, hold on. I don't know France's site. I'm learning this as I go. I did not rehearse this, as you can see. Oh, Réservoir. For Belay. That makes sense. So we still want... Fine. I hate that. That is my least favorite thing about the internet nowadays, is everything has to pop up saying, we use cookies so that you can make reservations. I'm like, duh, of course you do. Everybody does. That's literally how the program works. You don't need to... It's overblown. That's just my opinion. Oh, whole. Okay, so to get from Paris to Dijon, which is the same distance as from London to Manchester, it's going to cost you a whopping 36 euros. But if you want to go, if you're in a rush, it will cost you as much as a whopping 48 euros, which is, oh wait, that's almost half of, it's going to cost you half of the cost of the cheapest fare and take you, now, if you need to go faster. Point is, private infrastructure does not provide you better service. We have seen that here in our Dijon to Paris v. Manchester v. London comparison. It does not provide you cheaper fares. It is significantly more expensive. So you're getting a lot less